So next up, we have my friend and force, and somebody that you've already seen, Vince Warren, the Executive Director of the Center for Constitutional Rights. CCR is known for taking the cases that no other lawyer will take. Vince was involved in monitoring South Africa's historic Truth and Reconciliation Commission and worked as a criminal defense attorney for the Legal Aid Society of Brooklyn. He's also, as you saw last night, an amazing jazz drummer, and so give it up for Vince Warren.
Yes. I'm thinking about how do we know that Black lives really do matter? And one of the ways that I think about that is that I look very far into the future, not the campaign cycle, not the fiscal year, not the 3-year strategic plan with measurable outcomes, but really far into the future. And I'm thinking not about our kids, not about their kids, not about their kids, but the generation after that. And when they look back on this moment, the question is, what do Black people thank us for? And it's a tough question, but I don't know the answer to that question, but what I do see, looking back from us so many generations away, I see smiling faces. I see Black people that are at ease. I see Black people that are full of wonder. I see Black people that are unencumbered. I see Black people that are unafraid. I see Black people that are full of joy. But we have a problem, and one of the problems that we have was best summed up by James Baldwin in The Fire Next Time, and paraphrasing him, he says, this Negro's past of rope, fire, torture, castration, infanticide, rape, death, humiliation, fear, day and night, fear as deep as the marrow of the bone, doubt that he was worthy of life since everyone else around him denied it, sorrow for his family who needed his protection and whom he could not protect, rage, hatred, murder, hatred for the white man so deep that it often turned against him and his own and made all love, all trust, all joy impossible. I think when I look into the future, I think our call here is to create joy. And as lawyers, as people in the legal profession working with movements, it's an enormous task to think about how do you create joy from a legal document. But perhaps you can't. And I want to throw out a question to you all. I want you to think about our Constitution, which was ratified in 1789. Let's not think about it as a foundational document. Let's think about it as what it really, really is. It is actually a word redlined document. Now, for people that have worked on editing documents, you know how that works. You have a document, you make changes to the document, you put comments into the document. This is what's happened with our Constitution. Our Constitution was written so that it excluded Black folks. It excluded women. It excluded Native Americans. It excluded anyone who was not the landed white gentry. That is the basic document that we are working on in our field. So if you think about the analogy, what did we do? We deleted the section that said 4/5 a Black man. We added the section that says, yes, women have rights too. Then the Supreme Court, the legal infrastructure, clicked save as final. But there is also a comments section. And the comments section is also something that the legal profession, the legal institution has sought to occupy. So we will have comments in our document that says the Fourth Amendment that should be read to include the following words before the actual amendment, unless a police officer feels otherwise. You have the right to be free from unreasonable searches and seizures. There's other parts in the comment section that we are putting in, right? And so when we talk to Black people in Black communities about what's the most important thing to them, they will tell us the same thing time and time again. It's education. It's housing, it's health care, it is being able to protect and provide for families, and none of them, not a single one of them, is a right in our Constitution. So what are we spending our time doing? We are spending time in the comment section trying to get our courts to accept changes. I do not think that is the path to joy. I do not see the path to showing that Black Lives Matter in that process that we're doing. My CCR board member, one of my CCR board members, Kathy Albiza, who's here today, told me not too long ago that there are only two things worth doing in life. One is creating joy, and the other one is eliminating pain. And what we are doing here today, what we are trying to assemble, is a strategy to do both of those things simultaneously. And I don't have to tell you that it's not easy, because if it was easy, somebody in this room would have done it already. But it is obvious, and as Brother Sekou said to us just yesterday, that we live in a time when stating the obvious is a revolutionary act. And we have been stating the obvious for 2 days in this conference. And thinking about what that revolutionary act looks like moving forward, that we have to think radically about our profession, about the role of our profession with respect to movement groups, with respect to communities, but most importantly, we have to ask ourselves, can we get where we need to be by doing the things that we are doing now? The answer is no. But that's why we're actually here today. That's why we've been at this conference, because Law for Black Lives is about creating the radical innovation in the way that we think about our work as lawyers, to get us out of the comment session, to actually envision a legal document that actually includes the fundamental basic rights and humanity of Black people. We're planting the seed, right? When you think about those generations moving forward, that if you ask what are they thankful for that we have done, that we have started, they may say that at this moment, at this time, we came together to plant the seed. They may not, because we have to also do this work with humility. When you go to a beautiful forest and you're walking around, you're enjoying the trees, you do not know the name of the people that planted that and made it possible for you. But they matter to you. And even though you don't know their names, you thank them for it. So perhaps with humility, with innovation, with solidarity, with camaraderie, we'll be able to plant a seed so that years and years and years and generations down the road, Black people will say, we know that many years ago, there was a discussion about changing the way our society works, and our communities were involved, and our lawyers were involved, and for that, we are eternally grateful.